CBS Austin This Morning begins with a weather alert.
I'm meteorologist Nicole Hartford. That weather alert is for the Llano River at Llano that we have been very closely watching. It's now up to just above 39 feet. It's likely going to crest within about the next half hour to 45 minutes, and that crest is expected to be at 41 feet, which would be the second highest crest ever on record at the Llano River. So if you do live along the Llano River and you have not yet evacuated, you need to seek higher ground immediately. This has been in the major flood stage for quite some time now. Like I mentioned, is expected to crest in just about a half hour to 45 minutes. So we do have river flood warnings that are in effect all along the Llano River, and those stretch throughout Llano County. And those are the areas where you will want to seek higher ground, as this flooding will likely cause what could be some major damage to homes as well as mobile homes. In addition to that, if you do have to evacuate and you have to get out on the roadways, take it very, very slow. We do have flash flood warnings that are in effect through Llano and into Gillespie counties until 9:30 this morning, where we're seeing quite a few closures as well as impassable roadways due to water. So I am going to send it to Melanie Barden. She's in Llano County looking at what's occurring as far as the flooding goes. And Melanie, what are you seeing?
Well, Nicole, right now we're in Kingsland. We're on Highway 2900. I'll turn around the camera here so you can see or try to get a look at the road. You can see just how hard the water is coming down. We're having to go, obviously, extremely slow. We're being very cautious. We've seen a lot of cars going away from Kingsland and the other direction. Obviously, not many cars driving the direction we're going in, which is towards the 2900 bridge. That is one of those areas that the National Weather Service said was expected to flood. So we are going to keep a very close distance from that bridge, but we're going to try and get you as good of a view as we possibly can, of course, while still staying safe. What I've seen on the roads, just constant downpour of rain as soon as we hit the Llano County line in particular. We saw semi-trucks pulled over with their flashers on. It's very hard to see what's immediately in front of you, of course, because of the rain and because it's so dark. So a lot of people driving with their flashers on very slow. We've seen yesterday we were driving in this area, and I can tell you not many cars on the road at this time at all. And I'll show you right now. Look at these cars coming the opposite direction after those evacuations were put in place. They're asking anyone living within a quarter mile of the river to leave to get to higher ground. They do have some shelters in place. Shelters is a Methodist church in Llano, which hopefully we will be able to go check that out as well to see if people are staying there and using that option for safety. But the main message really is, if you have to be on the roads, go slow, make sure you see what's in front of you. Don't cross those barriers, because we have seen some barriers already put up, perhaps from yesterday, that are still there. But that is really what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep a safe distance from the river and go slow. I'll send it back to you.
I'm traffic anchor Sophia Stamas. We are getting reports of standing water on the roadway on I-35 and SH-45 right now in Williamson County. Numerous closures around town. We're going to talk about this half hour. Plus, a lot of water on the roadways, making for very slow drive times into the city. Just take your time this morning as you make your way to work.
Continuing coverage on the severe weather we are following for you this morning. Several school districts are pushing back the start of the school day this morning. Here they are on your screen. So far, Llano ISD, Fredericksburg ISD, and Burnett CISD will start 2 hours later because of the rain and potential flooding. Buses are also on that same schedule. They're going to start 2 hours later than normal as well.
And city crews are busy continuing to clear ditches and drain of debris to prevent possible flooding. The Austin Watershed Department says their focus is to clear debris and erosion prior to, during, and after storms. They also work fast to block off low water crossings as water rises. The Watershed Department says they can't be everywhere and says it's extremely important for people to use 311 to report any debris, erosion, or flooding they may see.
Happening tonight in San Antonio, Beto O'Rourke and Ted Cruz will debate. This is the last scheduled debate, but Cruz did call for a nationally televised one last week. The O'Rourke campaign announced it has raised 3 times more than Mr. Cruz in the last 3 months. O'Rourke prides himself on fundraising from people and not PACs. Paxo have released ads against crews like this one from Austin's own Richard Linklater that has been online. As international pressure builds, Saudi Arabia appears to be changing its story on this disappearance of Jamal Khashoggi, a Saudi journalist critical of the kingdom. Mike Pompeo is there this morning looking for some answers. John Schumo reports.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is in Saudi Arabia meeting with top officials about the disappearance of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. CBS News has learned that the Saudi government is preparing to say that Khashoggi was accidentally killed when an interrogation went wrong.
I'm really sending him just to find out really firsthand what happened.
The journalist has not been seen since walking into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey on October 2nd. The Saudis originally said Khashoggi left that day unharmed. Turkish investigators say he was killed in the consulate and dismembered. They searched the building for 9 hours yesterday. Khashoggi's family is calling for an independent and impartial international commission to inquire into the circumstances of his death.
There's not enough money in the world for us to buy back our credibility on human rights. If we do not move forward and take swift action on this, if in fact, even when it's proven to be true.
Congress has promised swift retaliation against the Saudi government if it is responsible. John Schumo, CBS News.
Continuing coverage on some severe weather, we just got this in. Llano ISD has canceled classes for the day. The river in Llano is expected to crest. We have a crew en route. We have our Nicole Hartford keeping an eye on the radar, and also Sophia Stamas on some alternate routes. We're going to be checking in with them right after this break.
You're watching CBS Austin This Morning, Central Texas Trusted.
It is 6:39 on this Tuesday morning. The Llano River, the last report, still at 39.1 feet. That is the major flood stage. If you have not already and you live along the Llano River, you will want to seek higher ground immediately, as crest is expected really within about the next 20 to 30 minutes. Crest is expected to be right around 41 feet, which would be the second highest this river has ever crested. That's also about 13 feet higher than some of that deadly flooding we saw last week. So this could be some devastating flooding for those along the Llano River to mobile homes as well as homes. Seek shelter. And if you do have to leave your house to seek shelter, take it very slow on the roadways. In addition to just the river flooding, we do also have flash flood warnings in effect for Llano, Gillespie, and now just reissued for portions of Mason County. Those go until 9:30 this morning. There are many roadways that do have standing water that are considered impassable or are closed. So you will want to take your time, and if you do see standing water, turn around, do not try to cross it. The rest of us have kind of calmed. We're seeing that heavy rainfall still in the hill country, but not quite as wet in the Austin area. Temperature right now 48, still a very cold start. You will want to keep that umbrella close by and that coat on. While rainfall is expected to continue, the majority of this will take place during the first half of the day. We'll keep that rain chance this afternoon, although hopefully we can get a little bit of relief, especially over towards the hill country. Traffic and weather always together every 10 minutes. Sophia.
Nicole, as that wet weather continues, we've seen 20 low water crossing closures added since the beginning of the morning, give or take. This is an overview of the viewing area. Lots of closures. If you live anywhere near a waterway, you do need to be extra cautious, obey barricades, and if you just aren't sure, turn around. There are several closures in the Austin area. There are these along Old Spicewood Springs Road north of Loop 360, also one south of Loop 360 at that Bull Creek Greenbelt Park. And there is also some closures on Palmer, just Cameron Road rather, south of Palmer. Look out for a low water crossing on FM 1826 at Slaughter Lane in southwest Austin. And in Williamson County, we're getting reports of some standing water on I-35 and on SH-45. There have been several cases of people hydroplaning out there. So again, give yourself plenty of space and time. And then out west, there are some highway closures. Highway 87 at Beaver Creek, just north of Fredericksburg. We'll be right back with more updates after this.
Coming up, we're in Istanbul as the Saudi government reportedly prepares to claim that missing journalist Jamal Khashoggi died during an investigation gone wrong. Plus, Pastor Andrew Brunson joins us to talk about his 2-year imprisonment in Turkey. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
Your time right now, 6:44. If you are just waking up, we are following some breaking news out of Llano County. Some severe weather we want to update you on this morning.
Yes, and we just got word that 3 school districts have now canceled classes for the day. That just goes to show you how dangerous this flood water is. Llano ISD, Harper ISD, and Burnett ISD have canceled classes for today.
Meteorologist Nicole Hartford joins us now. Nicole, this all happened about the 5 o'clock hour this morning. We were doing your newscast, and you basically said there's evacuations that are now in place.
Yes, this river flood warning has been in effect for quite some time now, but because of the continuous rainfalls, this quickly started rising. The Llano River did even further than what the forecasted crest would be earlier this morning. So we do have that river flood warning still in effect. This is along the Llano River. It stretches through Llano County. If you have not already, you will want to seek higher ground immediately. This is a very dangerous situation. The crest is expected very, very soon. It is currently at 39 feet, over 39 feet. That's the latest report from the National Weather Service. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even a little bit higher now. The crest is expected to be somewhere around 41 feet, and that's supposed to occur right around 7 o'clock this morning. This is well into the major flood stage. If it does reach 41 feet, that'll be the second highest crest ever on record, and that'll only be shy of our record crest at the Llano River by a half foot. So this could be some catastrophic flooding for those along the Llano River. Take these warnings very seriously. You will want to seek higher ground if you can. And we do have Melanie Barden. She is on the scene in Llano County, and she'll tell us what she's looking at and what she's seeing across the area right now. Melanie?
Nicole, right now we're in Kingsland. We found a higher ground just now, but what we're looking at is the Llano River. That bridge is FM 2900. You can see the water just raging beneath that bridge, and just a few minutes ago it looked like they had begun closing the bridge down, but I can see cars still going over that bridge. I would say if you're here in this area having to cross that bridge, plan on not crossing it because it looks very dangerous there. Look at how high that water is. We are also right beside a boat storage facility, and I just talked to some of the managers who told me they've already lost 4 boats. We've been standing here for about 5 minutes, and I've seen a boat come barreling down the river that obviously got loose there. You can see those boat slips completely loose. Those managers telling me they've never seen anything like this. They said they did experience some flooding back in '97, but absolutely nothing like this. Their biggest fear is how much more flooding there is to come this morning. Nicole, I know you said it's not finished just yet, so they're very worried about other boats they have here, different things that may be not as secured as they hoped it would be. Also, this bridge is a very big concern. You can see that officer, he seems to have been just going back and forth across the bridge. To me, it seems that they would close it. But I haven't seen that happen quite yet. Obviously, they're keeping a good eye on that, knowing that some people do have to cross that bridge. But just by the looks of that water, it looks extremely dangerous. The rain here still pouring. And again, we are in Kingsland. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Mel, we do want to let our viewers know you are in a safe location. But before we let you go, we could just hear how fierce that water is. You've been covering these floods. You were there last week. How different is it from last week to this morning compared to what you've seen?
Oh, it's completely night and day. Last week, obviously, they did have some flooding. You saw the water gradually rising. This is absolutely, the water is violently smacking against that bridge. Just the picture of seeing boats coming down that river, and they're not just floating down the river because they got loose. These boats are tumbling. You can hear them scratching against rocks at the bottom of the river. You can just hear how powerful this water is right now. Of course, just that picture of the bridge, you know, the water coming out that forcefully, it looks so dangerous. It looks like that water is about to come over the bridge itself. I want to go over here and look at the police officer. He's pulled over. I see a line of cars there, maybe trying to get on the bridge. It looks like he's going back, maybe telling people to turn around. So it looks like maybe they've officially closed FM 2900 here in Kingsland again because of that raging water. Chris?
Yeah, Mel, thank you so much. Yeah, we've heard so much about the evacuations. I'm really glad to see that they're closing that bridge down because that does not look safe.
And it looks like that live picture. Did we lose that live picture? Can we go back to that live picture? If you're just waking up, this is a live picture of the river there, and I know you were talking about some evacuations, Courtney.
Yeah, I just wonder, I wish I could have asked Mel, I wonder if this is going to have an effect on people trying to get out of there, if this is a main thoroughfare for people having to evacuate along the Llano River, you know, where people can go.
And we do want to let our viewers know, Melanie Barden and our photojournalist Leslie Ulrich, they are in a safe location. Safety is a priority for us. They are at a high level right now. That is why they are bringing us these images. There are a number of road closures, though. This is just the vision that we want to give you guys this morning. If you are in the Llano County area, there have been some evacuations. Have you ever been able to look up some of those evacuation locations? Where can people go if they're watching us, Courtney?
I haven't gotten word on exactly where they're evacuating to, but we do know that 3 school districts have now canceled classes. This flooding happened very fast, way faster than we saw happen last week. We know that Llano ISD, Harper ISD, and Burnett ISD have canceled classes for today. There are going to be tons of road closures in the area, but you are just going to want to seek higher ground as soon as you can. And we know that we are continuing to monitor some of those road closures in the area with our traffic anchor, Sophia Stamas. She's going to let you know how you can get around some of those low water crossings.
Yeah, we were watching live with Mel as the Llano River caused the closure of that bridge right there. We've been talking about 150 low water crossings throughout the viewing area this morning. Also standing water on the roadway, especially in Williamson County, even on I-35, major roadways like North SH 45. This is what I-35 looks like right now at 620. You're barely moving there on that southbound service road. That's causing folks to hydroplane as well. We have very slow travel throughout the viewing area and also a lot of crashes that are going to be getting in your way as you make your way out this morning. Southbound to I-35 at Ronald Reagan in Williamson County. Also SH 45 at Pearson's Ranch, right where it meets with FM 620 and on southbound Highway 183 at East Highway 71 as you make your way toward ABIA. Like I said, about 150 low water crossings right now affecting you, including right here in Austin, Old Spicewood Springs Road between North Loop 360 and Spicewood Springs Road, also south of there at that Bull Creek Greenbelt Upper Level Park, and also south of Palmer Lane, Cameron Road. We're also getting word of a closure over on FM 1826 at Slaughter Lane in Southwest Austin. Again, that is just the tip of the iceberg. Your traffic and weather always together. Nicole Hartford is tracking the severe weather.
Thanks, Sophia. I do want to give you one more look at where the Llano River currently is. The latest report was just over 39 feet. I honestly think it's probably a little bit higher now as the crest is really right around the corner. We've been saying the crest likely going to happen sometime around 7 o'clock this morning at 41 feet. So if you have not yet already evacuated or seeked higher ground along the Llano River, you don't have much longer before that river crests. There is that river flood warning in effect around the Llano River through Llano County, where we are seeing our most serious river flooding, but there's actually quite a few river flood warnings that are in effect across the area for portions of the Pedernales River, as well as many of our streams and creeks, and we will continue to watch these. The Llano River is the only one that is in the major flood stage. The remainder of these are in the minor or moderate flood stage, but still worth watching if you live in those areas. And rainfall, unfortunately, is just still ongoing over towards the hill country. A lot of this going into the Llano River. We are seeing that very, very heavy rainfall around the Llano area, a couple strikes of lightning. And because of that, we do still have flash flood warnings in effect for Llano and portions of Gillespie County. Those go until 9:30 this morning. And then for Mason County, that flash flood warning is in effect until 8:15 this morning. For those areas, flash flooding is ongoing. There are quite a few low water crossings, as well as roadways like Sophia was talking about that are closed, and many that aren't necessarily closed, but are just impassable. So turn around if you do come across standing water. For the rest of us through the I-35 corridor and east, we have some drizzle, a couple scattered showers and storms, but the majority of that activity is unfortunately over towards the hill country, where we do have the most serious of our flood situation. We will continue to filter in rainfall as we go through the next couple of days. There's a lot of water to work with, and we're just keeping this steady stream of moisture. It does look like we could get a little bit of relief as we move into this afternoon as well as tomorrow, but a flash flood watch still exists until 7 o'clock this evening for the hill country, and we will be on the lookout for flooding concerns because our rainfall totals for some areas are just insane. We've seen rain totals anywhere from about 7 to 11 inches. These are technically in the last 5 days, but most of this accumulation has occurred just within the last 48 hours, anywhere from about 2 to 4 inches through the I-35 corridor and east. Future track does have scattered activity ongoing for the first half of the day today, but it does bring a little break in that rainfall by this afternoon, which is what we're really going to hope for. And hopefully that break will last through portions of Wednesday, but we will bring back rain chances, likely accumulating another 1 to 3 or even higher inches over towards the hill country over the next 7 days. Temperatures also staying very, very chilly today. We are going to start a slow warm up, but we'll barely make it into the 60s as we move towards Friday.
So we are getting Nicole and Sophie on the desk right now, but I want to go ahead and take that live picture from Melanie Barton because, Nicole, I kind of want to have you join us with this. I know, Mel, you're there live right now on location. Show us the flooding that is going on behind you. And, Nicole, in about 5 minutes is when it's supposed to crest?
Yes, the forecasted crest is at 7 o'clock this morning, so it's going to get a little bit worse, but this is likely about as bad as we're going to see it.
And, Mel, we're tossing to you right now. Can you give us an idea of what you're seeing? Has it gone up since we last checked in with you?
Yeah, Chris, honestly, I cannot tell if it's gone up, and that's because this river is just running so rapidly, almost violently, I would say. It's really hard just from the naked eye to see it. I want you to get a look, Leslie, if you can show this. Looks like an entire dock floating down the river there. If you can see that, I know it's pretty dark. That is what we've been seeing all morning long. Not only docks, we've seen full boats. We've heard them clashing along the rocks at the bottom of the river. If that gives you an idea of just how powerful this river is going right now. Just within the past few minutes, police have closed off the bridge here in Kingsland. That's FM 2900. They've closed it down as that water continues to pour in. But I'll send it back to you.
Right, we are going to take a quick break, but we're going to be back. And I know you're going to be on social media. You're going to be on social media. We're going to come back and bring you live coverage. We're going to be checking in with Mel right now. Mandatory evacuation. We're about 4 minutes away from the Llano River cresting, you said, right, Nicole?
Yes, cresting at about 41 feet.
All right, we'll see you back here in about 2.5 minutes.